If you want to talk about this process at all, Lester, we'll know what's going on when we look at the tape later.
My dad will talk about it. I don't want to talk.
All right.
All you got.
All right, we're loading what into what?
These are the pieces that we will be pouring later on. These have had the wax melted out of them, and we're getting ready to pour them now. They're heated up so that when we pour the hot molten metal in them, they won't split from the different temperatures.
Okay.
And also, when you put the molten metal in a cold form, it would cool very fast and probably lose a lot of your definition of the piece that you're pouring. We have here the waxes. No, excuse me. I scratched that. These are the clay figures that an artist starts off with. And in order to support the clay, you have to make what you call an armature. Now, an armature is merely a metal form that kind of configures to the figure that you're going to make, conforms to the figure that you're going to make, and you simply put your clay over it.
Uh-huh.
And then from this clay, you have to make a mold. And a small mold of a figure. You put this rubber compound around your figure, and then it has to be put inside of this plaster of Paris.
Okay, so you start out with a wire frame, you build a clay sculpture around that, and then you do a rubber mold of that with a plaster support.
Right. And then you're ready to pour the melted wax into this form. Then you simply take it apart, and you take your piece of wax off.
Here, I'll run over here. I'll run over here, and we'll look at the high-tech wax melting machines.
That's kind of a big mess, but these are nothing but old cookers that get the temperature up to about 220, I guess.
So the wax, comes in these bars down here.
Well, these are the spruing bars here.
Oh, okay.
The wax comes in usually bigger chunks, and you keep using your wax over and over and over again. After you melt it out, you can keep wax. These are what they call. Here's some of your waxes. These are spruing waxes that they use to make vents from your piece to let the hot air out of it being trapped in your pieces that you're pouring.
Okay, so we then you cast them in this mold that we were showing, and let's see, we've got some wax pieces down here, don't we?
Yes, we have all kinds of old wax pieces. This is what a wax would look like.
Okay.
This one would have to be cleaned up, these little ridges taken off, and you want to put any definition that you lost in casting the wax back into it. You can do that with sharp knives or heated pieces of metal. You want to be. This is very important because what you invest is what you're going to get when you take the molds off of the cooled metal. This is a wax. Now, you have to invest this. You have to put ceramic around this, and you do that in the investing room by simply dipping this in the ceramic. But these sprues here, you have to put a pouring cup. See if we get the old pouring cups around here. Let's see. Oh yes, here we are. Lots of pouring cups. You would merely put this pouring cup onto here, and you would put a bunch of sprues.
All right, and
These things you see here, you'd probably put them down from the end of the hand, you'd curl them up back up to the pouring cup, maybe you put 3 or 4 in here. You may even cast these legs separate, cut them off and put them on they call a tree. So this goes on to here, and the screws, you can heat these and bend them around, and then you come back up to the pouring cup. That's so when you pour the hot metal in, that any air that's down there will come back up through the screws. They're nothing but vents, same as in plumbing.
Right. All right, so we take, you got the cast figure, and you've got it hooked up with a cup and the sprues, and then what do we do with it?
You have to dip this in ceramic and roll it in sand.
All right, well, let's go take a look at that room. I'll turn this off for a second. Okay.
Okay, this is your slurry in here. It's, looks kind of like a pancake butter. Let me see if I can... There's a sticker. Well, this is what it looks like when you get the slurry all on it. That's the little vent.
Okay, so you take your wax material and you
dip it
in there.
Dip it in here.
Okay, so that's
looks like kind of pancake batter. It's made out of silicone and some kind of liquid.
Yeah.
You get it off, you let it drain a little bit. Let's see if we got our air on. We got our air on. And then you have to dunk it in the sand here. Now, if you were just to press your hand down on that sand, you couldn't do it. Now, imagine trying to do that with a delicate piece of wax.
Yeah.
So you run this air into it down here, and you simply put your foot down here. You let your air come up through there, and you can run your hand way down like that.
Ah.
So this has a very fine coating of sand and the silicone mixture in it right now.
So it's kind of like taking fried chicken and putting it in egg and milk, and then you put.
Obviously, Colonel Saunders got his idea from this.
He probably uses the same sort of setup.
Yes. Okay, then you set it up here, and you let it dry. Okay, then it's dried in about 3 or 4 hours, and you do the same thing. You dunk it in here, dunk it in there. You do that 3 times with this fine sand.
Yeah.
And depending upon the piece, you may do it another 12 times with this coarser sand.
Okay, so you got the fine sand right next to the wax, and then a layer of coarser stuff for detail.
Right, keep your detail. Because what you put inside this is what you're going to get when you melt it out.
All right, now here are pieces that have obviously been dipped many times, have a kind of a stalactite look to them.
Yes, I did this this week for or less. This is a piece here I can lift yet. You can see the pouring cup that's here.
Okay.
And this is a handle so you can lower it into the slurry. The slurry is very low right now. Usually it's full. You dunk it in the slurry, lift it up and let it dry a little bit. You bring it over to here, and you put it in the sand, and it goes down like that, and you lift it up.
So about how many layers do you usually put on?
I can tell you exactly how many is on this one. By looking over here, because we keep track of them.
Okay, I'm going to move around here.
Now this is the 3 fine sand. I put 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 coats of the heavy sand on this, so it's got 16 coats, 16 dippings.
How many,
altogether.
How long does it have to wait between dippings to dry?
Well, the first time we do it, you want to make sure it's dry, so we leave it maybe 4 hours. Then after we start putting the heavy sand on it, it only takes maybe an hour, 2 hours, depending upon how warm it is in here. We have a fan up here we turn on and blow.
Okay, now these still have the wax inside?
Yes, these still have the wax inside.
And then what happens from there?
What we'll do, this is on an automatic timer, by the way, so that if this stands still all the time, it would settle and solidify.
Okay.
We will grind this off with a grinder and expose the wax in here.
Yeah.
And then we'll set it in the furnace out here with this side down like this.
Okay.
And we'll heat it up. And the wax will melt out of here. This is why they call it a lost wax, because every time you do this, you lose your wax.
All right.
And this wax flows out the bottom of the furnace, and we save it and can use it again.
So you wind up having a shell ceramic that has the exact detail that the wax had in reverse.
And believe it or not, I've seen it where Les's fingerprint or thumbprint gets on a piece of wax, and we cast it, and the thumbprint is still in bronze.
Sounds pretty fine.
When you do a big piece, these things get kind of heavy at times, especially like this one here. It's very heavy. All I can do is lift it up and down.
All right.
Now this is the only part where is the art. From here on up, this is a pedestal. The rest of these is your pouring cup and your screws.
Okay.
The same way with this. This is your pouring cup, and your piece of art is up here. Now, this is a lady. The torso is here. The legs are here, and the arms and some of the other pieces of art are here. Now, if you notice the legs, they have had pieces cut out of the wax.
Yeah.
This is, and in the back here too, This is so that your piece is hollow and that your slurry runs inside and you have a shell rather than a solid piece of bronze, because if you're going to make this out of a solid piece of bronze piece of heavy, you'd have a difficult time lifting it around.
Right.
So this will be hollow. And you can see the top is at the back cut out of it. And it used to be open down here, where the slurry ran through here and formed a shell. That'll be, when you melt the wax, that'll be hollow.
All right. Okay, I'm going to cut off now and we'll move on to another stage in a little bit. Okay, now here we're just starting to melt the bronze, huh?
Outside. Basically everything's done. It just needs to be painted and sanded. Okay.
All right, we're in a room here where Lester has a bunch of pieces that have already been cast and are waiting to be assembled and finished. Go, Lester.
Well, Jerry, why don't you hold him up like that? This is the piece is called Corporate Decisions. It sits on a plastic base that looks like a hill, and these two angels have these little wings on their backs, and Christ is up on the hill, and they're playing scissor, rock, stone to decide the fate of Christ. And they'll all be painted white from head to toe with white wings.
Okay.
And so it's just kind of a funny little piece.
Great.
They're deciding the fate of Christ, whether he will live or he'll die.
All right.
We all know the outcome.
Your base is made out of what material?
It's plastic, fiberglass. Originally it was out of all sorts of different material: wood, plaster, sand, rock. And
all
this one you see that back here is, you can maybe go around, but that's
Excuse me,
three of the apostles. And this one here has a harpoon, and he's harpooning Christ, which is going to be out here on a tornado of water. The water's going to be solid plastic, but it'll look like water. And they all have vegetable heads, and Christ has a carrot for a head, a glowing carrot. And basically that's it.
Want to show us one of these spirit pieces up here?
Yeah. Well, these are, I don't know what you want.
Here, I'm going to get around on the other side here.
These are, these figures come into play for several of the scenes. It's kind of like a diorama of the life of Christ or the life of the Antichrist, really.
Yeah.
And they're coming upon the tomb of Christ the day he is risen and the tomb is empty. But what they really find in the bottom of the tomb is a burnt carrot.
Great.
And they'll be painted to look, flesh in real life, and they have other functions. Really, they all started out as these demon angels that were looking for the scapegoat, and they kind of developed into.
Will all these demon angels be in the one piece, or are they in a couple pieces?
Yeah, there are three of them that go together at all times. So there's three demon angels, and they're always seen in the same.
No, but I mean, so you have a couple pieces that deal with that.
Yeah, there's ideally four. This is one in another angel in another scene where it's gutting the scapegoat, but it turned into be St. John the Baptist, so it's like salami or bologna or whoever that is, but there's 3 of them. They're all gutting this deer.
As long as we're in this room, would you mind showing us some of the tools over here and talking about the process just slightly?
Sure. Okay, I'm done. Well, it's just, you have a lot of different, these tools are all operated on air. All these is just makes them lightweight. And this is a carbide grinding bit. It's very tough, and you'll just grind that bronze right away. You can see back here, I don't know if you can see in the camera, there's a shiny area here. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
And this is where for the casting process, I had to cut sections out of the wax in order to make them hollow, because this is hollow inside.
Yeah, your dad was talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, so what I do is cut the plate out in the wax, cast it also, and later on I weld it back with the TIG welder, and then I use that die grinder and I smooth away the welding marks.
Okay.
And if you want to sand it, or you can.
And these are some works in progress.
Yeah, long progress for a long time. So that's it basically.
What's this?
This is a mold for that large piece outside. This is a sample piece of fiberglass just to test it out. And this will go upright and be part of a column.
Okay. Out here we're getting all dressed up so we can climb down inside the volcano.
Hi, Mom. Coming out of his hair? I mean, it's getting stuck on his hair.
No, he's had that for a long time now. And I've
Really?
talked to Easy, but that's, yeah,
I saw that. I'd ask, you guys notice that? It's not just fuming in the air. Well, it's only at the extremes. The inside is here. Hair fell out. Because I worked with him. That's done. Especially with that lady. Where all this, where's this stuff?
look at him.
Pardon me, gents.
Well, it says about 2,000 degrees. What does that say to you, Bob? Let me go a little bit longer.
How thick is your piece?
Well, they're about as thick as my finger.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Highly attractive.
Okay.
See,
Not there, but it's bothering you. Test
Okay,
it.
you know what you're doing? Okay, have you got the touch? That's the big question. Is there something?
Okay, well now while you're taking that out, I'm gonna, well, no, I better wait till you, I'll let you get yours out and then I'll take these out.
Okay, this goes that way?
No. Swing it out, yeah. This way?
Way out.
Down.
Way out.
Hook it on that.
Oh, I see.
Then take your bar out. And you get quite a bit of velocity on your hoist there.
Okay, take me out. Okay. Down. Go ahead, down all the way. Okay, you run that. Okay, take me out slowly. You just sit there. Okay, keep going down. Down. Up. Down. There, I'll take it. Down.
Just leave it there. Okay, now, I'm gonna take this out, so. Then you can still. Oh, that's it, that's still plenty stuff. No, I think it's pretty good. Let me hold that up there.
Got you on tape.
Oh, that's his sister's stuff. How come they also do that? That's his sister's work.
I'm gonna set this here for now.
Why are they all so small?
Hey Bob, this is the first one you want to pour here.
Okay.
And then you want to pour not this one here, but I'll put it right next to it. Go back and pour it.
I haven't done that. I think I remember that.
Fun one. That you can pour a third.
Okay.
And then the rest do anything you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, if you like.
That's good. Why don't you just lift this by hand first and we'll center it up. Okay, lift it just a little bit. Beautiful.
A little bit more.
Okay, are you going?
Somebody hook my back.
Got it?
Okay, up, up.
Hey, must be a cat turd on fire in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. This one here first, you say?
Yeah. Well, now make it this one, that one, and that one, and then.
Okay, take me up a little. Down. That's good, man. Don't move anything. Going all the way up?
That's just good right
Whole
there.
side?
No, just.
This spot.
Just.
Okay, down just a smidge. That's good, that's good.
Pretty quick there, huh? Well, what do I I know thick from thick.
Up a little. Okay.
That's fine, they're all pretty. How many more yards are there? Whoa! We got lots of jewelry making today. Whoop!
I'm coming out my side.
Yeah, pour the next one, pour the next one.
Okay, don't hit this crucible without whatever you do.
Okay, stop. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Oh, that's mighty swell. Only missed one hole.
Okay, down. A little more. Touch it down. Yeah. You gotta stop there. You gotta touch it down.
Okay, you're gonna have
Okay,
to.
down.
Excuse me.
Can you use a piece of cardboard on this left? Up. Up. A little higher. Down.
Yeah,
Keep going down.
Center there.
It's not centered?
A little bit towards you. There you go. That's fine.
Okay, up.
Some with the shell still on.
Okay.
There's the chair. The sprues are already cut off. This is a breast ornament for a horse, for this horse here.
Okay.
And this is the horse's hand.
Okay. Oh, good. I recognize that.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is an Arabian horse.
Okay.
All this will be taken off,
Yeah.
chisel and sandblasting, and then welded together.
Or we could also call that Jerry.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry, the horse's ass?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so that's an idea of what that's about.
All right.
That way you won't have to stick around. Which you were gonna anyhow. Yeah, why don't we put a pair of gloves on this first? Just use those, yeah. Did you get one of pretty metal in? You'll have to argue with Bob who gets this in. Greg's gonna pour his pieces. Okay. Why don't you, got the big outfit there? Like, go
About how long do these cool before you have to before you break them out?
I'm not sure, but I do know if you cool them off too fast, it ruins your phosphorus.
Okay.
Get a wire brush, we can clean it up. Brian, in that metal toolbox right there where we're casting, there should be a wire brush right on the top, big one.
Okay, so that's a.
It's going to be a wand.
Okay.
Are these vents?
Yeah, just kind of safeties.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a little bronze skull here.
Yeah.
Guys, is there any, what did she make them out of originally?
Just wax. Yeah, and then that's a mold of this. It's got sheep horns that's wearing a crown of thorns. It's kind of a Grateful Dead motif.